Well, good morning and welcome to First Unitarian Society of Madison. My name is Kelly Aspreuth Jackson. My pronouns are he, him, and his, and I am one of the ministers here. This morning I am joined by my colleague, the Reverend Kelly Crocker, and by the worship team of Linda Warren, Daniel Carnes, and Stephen Gregorius. Special thanks to all those volunteering as greeters, ushers, hospitality providers, lay ministers, and sound tech today, and very special thanks to our guest flautist, Marilyn Chaney. At First Unitarian Society, we question boldly, listen humbly, grow spiritually, act courageously, and love unapologetically. If you are visiting us today, welcome. We are so very glad that you are with us. If you would like more information about First Unitarian Society, please stop by the welcome table located in the Commons just through those doors and to the left. We hope that you'll be able to stay and join us for coffee hour immediately after the service, also in the Commons. For those connecting with us virtually today, we are very glad that you are with us as well. We hope that you will take a moment after the video is complete to watch the announcement slides as they cycle through again so that you can keep informed about things that are coming up here at FUS. Now, a special announcement I have to share is that the Children's RE program needs one more teacher, just one more teacher. Think about the many, many teachers that we need every year to fill out our program. Just one more teacher to be fully staffed for this year. So please consider, if you will, teaching our 9 a.m. preschool class, Chalice Children. You will join a team of 3 other teachers and get to play with curious, adorable, and funny kids each time that you are there, which is about twice a month. If you're interested, please reach out to Leslie Ross, our Director of Lifespan Religious Exploration, after the service. This Tuesday night, our criminal justice reform team is hosting a talk by author Ben Austin about his new book, Correction: Parole, Prison, and the Possibility of Change, in the Landmark Auditorium just over there. For details, please see the red floors, the poster in the Commons, or the slide, which we'll repeat at the end of the video after today's service. If you were here last week, you know that we observed the annual tradition of the water communion, in which members of the congregation bring water from many different places and sources to contribute to one common font that we use for ritual purposes throughout the year ahead, a way of symbolically recognizing that our congregation is made up of many different constituent parts and made real by our coming together. That water has been distilled, and if you would like, there are vials of it available. There are baskets outside these doors and on the table across the way there for you to take home, if you would like, to have as an element on your home altar, to use to water the plants in your garden. It is potable, strictly speaking. I don't know that I recommend drinking it, but I'm not going to stop you. If you would like a vial, please take one with you on your way out today. And now I invite you to join me in a moment of silence as we center ourselves and bring ourselves fully into this time, joining together once again in community.
Welcome to this place where certainty transforms to questions.
This place that takes what is and imagines what can be.
Welcome to this space where what was fixed begins to shift, where rigidity embraces unfolding as we join in the dance of transformation.
Welcome to this moment of change, where together we transfigure and transcend.
And we invite you now to rise in all the ways we do, joining together in the words of affirmation as we light our chalice. Here today, in this place and with these people, may we listen so that we can hear. May we hear so that we can feel. May we feel so that we can know. And may we know so that we can change ourselves and this world. May this chalice we light our way. And before we join together in song, if you'll take a moment to turn and greet those around you.
It is good to be together, friends, and good to greet one another, and good to sing together as well. In a second, we're going to sing our first hymn, which is number 1058 in your teal hymnals. Number 1058, Be Ours a Religion. Lyrics will be on the screen. But because the tune may be unfamiliar to many of us, we're going to hear it through once. We're just going to listen, and then we're going to sing it together twice. Let's listen. And we invite anyone who'd like to come up closer for our story to come join us on the rug. Hello. Hey, good morning.
Hello, hello. Hi.
Hello.
How are you? Good. It's good to see you all. Well, we have a story today that was a favorite when my kids were young. It was a favorite of one of them so much that we would be able to lie in the dark at night when everyone was going to sleep and recite this story from memory. We didn't even need the book anymore. Do you all have any stories like that you love so much? Cleo? It's a really big book and you can almost recite it. Whoa, you've read it that many times. I love that. Sometimes stories just grab us for one reason or another and we just want to read them over and over and over again. So this one is called Nugget and Fang. In the deep, deep ocean lived two best friends, Nugget and Fang. They did everything together. They swam over.
Glug.
They swam under.
Glug.
They swam all around.
Glug, glug, glug.
Life was close to perfect.
Until it was time for Nugget to go to school.
Oh, how many of you started school this year? You love school? How's your teacher? Better? Yeah. Especially language. Did any of you start a new school this year? You started school. Did you start kindergarten? 4K. You started a new school? Kindergarten. It can be a little scary to go on that first day, right? You started new schools? You started homeschooling. Yeah? You started homeschooling. You did? Whoa. Ray, did you start school this year? Wow. Kindergarten. All right. Well, on Monday, Nugget was busy with reading. Today's story is about 3 little minnows and a big, bad shark.
A big bad shark, said Nugget. Impossible.
Nugget was busy with math. 1 + 1 is 2. 2 + 2 is 4. But what if there were 10 minnows and a shark came along and ate 4 of them? How many minnows are left?
Is this a trick question? A shark would never do that, said Nugget.
And Nugget was busy with science. Sharks are scary. Here's the proof.
Stuff on that poster isn't true, said Nugget. My best friend is a shark.
Have you lost your gills?
Sharks and minnows can't be friends.
Hello, sharks eat minnows.
Nugget was shocked and apparently delicious.
Now that afternoon, Nugget explained it all to Fang. Sharks are toothy. Sharks are scary. Sharks and minnows cannot be friends. Sounds fishy to me, said Fang.
It's true. See, said Nugget. He held up his test. It read, sharks eat A, minnows, B, rusty license plates, C, surfers, D, all of the above. The correct answer was D. And then Nugget swam far, far away.
Fang's heart sank. There was nothing he could do about being toothy, but he needed his best buddy back. He had to prove he wasn't scary.
On Tuesday, Minnie Minnows had a surprise visitor, a very big surprise visitor. The visitor gave Nugget his friendliest smile.
And the minnows yelled, "Shark, swim for your lives!"
Oh my, algae, said Nugget. It's Fang.
On Wednesday, Fang tried a different approach.
Dear Nugget, I'd love to have you over for dinner. Sincerely, Fang.
He wants to eat you for dinner, the minnows cried.
Holy mackerel, said Nugget.
On Thursday, Fang tried everything he could think of.
A tattoo,
A special delivery.
a song and dance.
But nothing worked. On Friday, Fang was all out of ideas. So all alone, he swam over.
Blub,
He swam under.
blub,
He swam all around.
blub, blub, thwomp.
Life was not even close to perfect.
Fang was so busy boo-hooing that he didn't notice a net drop down, 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 right on the mini minnows.
Oh no!
I feel seasick.
We're the catch of the day! The net pulled up, up, up.
Somebody help!
Fang squinted. Nugget? He had to do something, but what? Fang fanned his gills, he wrung his fins, then ping! Fang had a plan.
Fang's big, sharp teeth chomped Fang's big sharp teeth chewed. Fang saved the mini minnows. All the minnows stared.
Okay, so why are the minnows in shock? What do they know about sharks? That they eat minnows, but did Fang eat them? No, what did he do? He saved them. I know, said Fang. I'm toothy, too scary, too shark.
Wait! Nugget swam toward Fang. There were 10 minnows, he said, and a very special shark came along. How many friends are there all together?
There was only one answer. In the deep, deep ocean lived 11 friends. They swam over.
Glug.
They swam under.
Glug.
They swam all around.
Glug, glug, glug.
And everyone was all smiles, especially you know who. And now look, there's Fang's food chain now. What does he eat? Vegetables. A vegetable-eating shark. I love this story because it's about what? It's about change, which is what we're talking about today. And starting school, whether it's 4K or kindergarten or homeschooling, that's a big change. And it can be scary, but sometimes it can turn out better than we ever thought. Thanks for listening to this favorite of mine. We're going to sing you out to class. What's your question?
Oh, you can make the world so bright. Now I invite you to rise in all the ways that we do and join me in singing our second hymn, number 51 in your silver and gray hymnals, Lady of the Seasons, Laughter, 5-1. Stay Words from the poet Mary Oliver. Oh, do you have time to linger for just a little while out of your busy and very important day? For the goldfinches that have gathered in a field of thistles for a musical battle, to see who can sing the highest note, or the lowest, or the most expressive of mirth, or the most tender. Their strong, blunt beaks drink the air as they strive melodiously, not for your sake and not for mine, and not for the sake of winning, but for sheer delight and gratitude. Believe us, they say. It is a serious thing just to be alive on this fresh morning in the broken world. I beg of you, do not walk by without pausing to attend to this rather ridiculous performance. It could mean something. It could mean everything. It could be what Rilke meant when he wrote, "You must change your life."
On Thursday afternoon, I was tucked away in my office listening to Kelly's beautiful reflection from last week's water communion ceremony and hearing him say, "The courage to change is the greatest strength there is." I was thinking that he couldn't have set up this week any better as I was working on this reflection on the power of change in our lives and how change can be a grand invitation for us into deeper and fuller living. I was also looking at the work of teacher and healer Adrienne Marie Brown, hearing her say, we must partner with change because there is a change that moves us toward life. Change is constant. We can be like water and flow. I remembered the story of the Buddhist teacher Suzuki Roshi when a student asked during a question and answer session, "I have been listening to your lectures for years, but I just don't understand. Could you please just put it all in a nutshell? Can you reduce Buddhism to one phrase?" Everyone laughed. Suzuki laughed. "Everything changes," he said, and then he asked for the next question. We know this to be true. So much is changing quickly in our world, in our community, in our own lives. We just need to look around us to see it. It's the start of another school year. For those of us with school-age children, we may be welcoming this change, we may be dreading it, or probably for most of us, it's a mix of the two. The image on our slide of a colorful leaf is one I took the other morning at school drop-off. Fall is my favorite season. And I sent this image to a friend with the message, "It's happening." I just noticed yesterday how many of the trees are yellow, red, and orange now. There are changes in our larger world. The impact of climate change is challenging all of us, and we know the most vulnerable bear the brunt of its impact. Our world's been shaped and changed in recent years by the pandemic, and we know our lives and our communities are different because of it in ways both large and small. Here at church, so much has changed and is changing. Last year's budget shortage left us with 3 less beloved staff as we move into this year. And we're still learning. What does that mean for us? What ends? What shifts? Who does what now? And we know that whatever happens on November 5th and November 6th and the days after, changes will come. We pray that those changes will be ones that move our world toward justice and equity, toward a country where all are welcome and all belong, and the thoughts of it all and what changes could come are terrifying. Everything changes. So I'll tell you that with all this bouncing around in my head, I was feeling pretty good about today's message. I was ready to stand up here and tell you everything changes. It's the truth of our days. Change. It's an invitation to life itself. So we're going to stay open. We're going to welcome this change. We're going to be willing to be transformed. And as so often happens in those moments of deep certainty, the universe laughed in my face. At that moment, an email arrived in my inbox with the subject line, "Cap and gown ordering information." And I froze. I didn't want to open the email. I didn't want to see that order due date. I didn't want to face the fact that my oldest is graduating and will be leaving for college, and I'll no longer see him in the morning and after school and know where he is and how he's doing and if he's eating. Did he sleep last night? And I have to tell you, I am not okay. So, here's my message today. Everything changes, and sometimes we are not okay. What is the old joke? Ministers write the sermons that they need to hear. So I think that's pretty much what I'm doing today. And I hope that there's maybe something in here that might resonate with you as well. So after I returned my breathing to normal, and no, I have not opened that email. I returned to Adrienne Marie Brown and laughed when I saw where I had stopped reading. Many of us, she says, respond to change with fear, see it as a crisis. Some of us anticipate change with an almost titillating sense of stress. We spend precious time thinking about what has changed that we didn't choose or can't control, or thinking ahead to future stress. There I was, right on the page. In a split second, I had turned an exciting moment in my kid's life, the culmination of one phase and the move into the next, into an absolute crisis. I know I'm not alone in this. Brown continued, now as much as I fangirl for change, I still struggle when something that I have planned to be just so changes. I fight until I am exhausted, and then I finally surrender to the inevitable. I have been working on listening for the opportunity. Often this means I have to have a longer view. Time is so good, so constantly illuminating. With time, the apparent crisis can become a massive blessing. With every change, there is an ending of one thing and the beginning of another. The Irish priest and poet John O'Donohue wrote, "Beginnings often frighten us because they seem like lonely voyages into the unknown. Yet in truth, no beginning is empty or isolated. We seem to think that beginning is setting out from this lonely point along some line of direction into the unknown. But this is not the case. Energy comes alive when a beginning is embraced. We are never as alone in our beginnings as it might seem at the time. A beginning is ultimately an invitation to open toward the gifts and growth that are stored up for us. A beginning is ultimately an invitation, he said. So can I change my thinking about change? Can I start seeing these changes, the ones that I know are coming and the ones I have no idea are in store for me, as an invitation? What is change inviting me, you, us to? Can we see change as the universe, the one with that grand sense of humor, or life itself offering us a bid for connection? This idea of bids for connection comes from the work of the couples therapists John and Julie Gottman. And these are small gestures we make toward one another for connection, a way to turn toward your partner. Most of these, they say, they're simple. They're tiny things, like asking your partner to go on a walk together or cook a meal together, share a television show that you both enjoy. When you make a bid and your partner responds positively, these are moments that bring you closer together. The Gottmans have done extensive research on this concept, and they've found that couples who describe their relationship as happy, fulfilling, satisfying make and respond positively to bids 80% of the time. They are finding ways to turn toward each other. What if this concept of making bids isn't just about people? What if life itself is making bids to us all the time, inviting us to pay attention to joy and wonder, to places of aliveness, to pain when it is present? What if life is saying to us, as Adrienne Rich said, change is not a threat to your life, but an invitation to live? What bids is life making to you? What change are you facing that can be an invitation? I think life is making a bid to me to stay engaged, to enjoy the days I have with this kid, to not lose them to fear or anxiety over what will come, to just be present to what is here and now, and so very good. Mary Oliver told us what she learned from watching the goldfinches on the thistle. It is a serious thing just to be alive on this fresh morning in the broken world. I beg of you, do not walk by without pausing to attend to this rather ridiculous performance. Now, Friday morning at school, waiting for the bell to ring, 4 sandhill cranes passed right overhead. They were so low and so loud, their wings so large, that I looked around the playground and I noticed all the others, the 5-year-olds and the 50-year-olds, were all just standing still and motionless and watching their flight. What is it about these birds that captivates us? Marjorie Sizer wrote a poem called Crane Migration, Platte River. She said, I am in danger of forgetting the cranes, their black wavering lines in the sky, how they came as if from the past, how they came of one mind, wheeling and swirling over the river. I am in danger of losing the purling sound they make and the motion of their long wings. We had stopped the car on the river road and got out, you and I, the wind intermittent in our faces, as if it too came from a distant place and wavered and began again gusting. Line after line of cranes came out of the horizon, sliding overhead. The voices of cranes, harsh and exciting, and something old in me answered. What did it say? Maybe it said, kneel. I almost forgot the ancient sound, back in time, back and back. The road, the two of us at the guardrail, a low scraggle of weeds flattening and rising in the wind. This is what I must retain. My knees hit the damp sand of the roadside. This is what I remember. You knelt too. We were wordless together before the birds as they landed on the sandbars and night came on. There's an urgency in the words of Mary Oliver and in this poem as well. Do not miss what is being offered up to you. Do not miss the bid, the invitation, especially here and especially now, when so much of the world is mired in what's wrong and in what is broken. We must not, amidst all that scares us, forget the beauty, the abundance, the moments of peace. This moment, whatever it is, could be a moment of invitation, a bid from the universe to you. How do we let the wonders of the world change us? I think a key piece of this, of being able to shift into a mindset of change as invitational, is to figure out what really matters to us and to stay rooted in those values. This past week, I had the joy of doing some planning with one of our members for a course we're going to lead together in the winter. I love doing work like this with all of you because you are so wise, and I learn so much from you. This particular member is one of the wisest I know, and she said, before we start having people fill out paperwork and answer questions about what they want to have happen, we need to ask them to list out their values. Once you know your values, what shapes your days, who you are in the world, then the decisions are going to come easily because you know who you are. To stay steady and open to all the changes that will come requires us to constantly be aligning our actions, how we are in the world, with our deepest values, aligning what we do and how we are with what we believe. This can be the steadying place, the ground we root into when everything around us is changing. So what are the values and the principles that guide your days? Here are a few of mine, so maybe one of these will be helpful. When you're facing a decision, ask yourself, will this choice open my heart? Will it lead to more love? In this moment, am I living from fear or faith? Listen to people who know more about something than you do and follow their wisdom. When it comes to the kids, I try to say yes when possible. I want them to see this openness, to say yes to life. So say yes when I can. What are the values that you want to guide your decisions, your response to the changes, the invitations that will come? What are the questions that you want to ask yourself as you face change? And finally, it's important to remember that we do this work in community here with one another. Here we can remind each other to keep love at the center of our lives and our days. Our colleague Kathleen McTeague says, fear's pronoun is singular. I've got to watch out for me and mine. Love's pronoun is plural. We're in this together, and together we can grow things that will blossom even in a time of drought. I think this is true in times of change. When we freeze in fear over what is to come, we feel so very alone. And then we are not okay. This is why we create communities of connection and care, learning and growth, giving and receiving, challenge and change. This is the slow work we do here of building relationship and building community, one conversation, one question, one decision at a time. To enter into relationship is to agree to be changed. When you came through these doors, whether today was the first time or the 400th time, you knowingly or not agreed to be changed. As the poet David White said, a real conversation always contains an invitation. You are inviting another person to reveal themselves to you, to tell you who they are or what they want. And by accepting that invitation, you are opening yourself up to the possibility of being changed, of learning something new, of seeing the world through someone else's eyes, hearing a story that makes you laugh, question, reflect, cry. Everything changes, yet some things remain the same. The human need for community, for belonging, for people to dream with, to roll up our sleeves and work with, a place to go when we see the beauty and the wonder, to figure out who we are and what matters, and a place to go when the changes make us say, I am not okay. Friends, the changes will keep coming. It is indeed a lasting truth. And so is love. So in the days to come, stay open to the bids from life itself. See change as an invitation to you into ever fuller life. Ground in your values and take the next best step from that place. And keep love at the center. When you are not okay, come back here. Let the love of this community surround you and hold you up. And when you are strong, do that for others. Together we can be like water. And together we will find our way through this wild, heartbreaking, wondrous, mysterious life, whatever changes come our way.
I invite you now into this time of giving and receiving, where we give freely and generously to this offering which supports the ongoing work of this community and the work of our outreach offering recipient, whom this week is Mentoring Positives, a nonprofit leadership development organization here in Madison. Mentoring Positives offers a comprehensive suite of community-based mentoring and social entrepreneurship opportunities designed to bolster social skills, self-confidence, emotional learning, and well-being for many of Madison's youth. There are multiple ways to share your gifts this morning. Baskets are now being passed here in the auditorium for cash or checks, or as you will see on the screen, you can donate directly from our website, fusmadison.org. You'll find our text-to-give information there as well. Thank you for your generosity and your faith in this life we create together. Thank you so much for that beautiful music. Each week we gather, carrying in our hearts the joys and the losses of our days. We hold our own pain and celebration together with those of the ones we love. We share these here, knowing that they are held gently in care, in support, and in love. We light a candle to honor the memory of Emmy Gartsky, member of this congregation who died this past July at the age of 95. Emmy was an energetic spirit, fiercely committed to her work with the League of Women Voters. She was also a deeply committed and longtime member of this congregation, among other things, very, very involved in our partner church program. I am told that she may have, in fact, single-handedly helped to fund the renovation of the organ in the church at our partner relationship in the Joita in Romania. A memorial service to remember Emmy's life will be on October 20th at 2 p.m. in the Landmark Auditorium. We light a candle of gratitude for the engagement of Scott Wolf to his new betrothed, Ellie. Scott is Charlotte Wolf's grandson. We send our best wishes to Scott and to Ellie and wish them many, many years of happiness. We light a candle to remember the life of Kent Hooker, husband of Gail Bliss, who passed from life 20 years ago this month. Kent was a member of this congregation He sang in the meeting house choir, he taught in the church school, and he volunteered in our office. May his memory be for a blessing. And I invite you now to turn with me both inward and outward as we enter together into an attitude of meditation and of prayer with these words from Lynn Cox. We give thanks for the beauty of this day and for the company of those assembled here. Thank you for the breezes of change, clearing our heads and bringing fresh ideas. May they cleanse our minds of the oppressions and isms that divide us. Thank you for the flame of hope, the heat of righteous anger, the warmth of compassion, and the fire of commitment. May they bubble the cauldrons of transformation. Thank you for oceans of love, rivers of connection, tears of relief, and pools of serenity. May healing waters flow over us and through us and among us, wearing down the sharp rocks of despair to bring joy in the morning. Thank you for the good earth beneath us, around us, and within us. May we take this clay and co-create a new realm of justice and beauty. Thank you for all these and more. We accept our gifts and commit to building, sculpting, painting, singing, and dancing them into life, to abundant life. So be it. Blessed be. And amen. Time with me so we can sing together hymn number 6 in your silver and gray hymnal. This is a personal favorite of mine. Just as long as I have breath, number 6.
Still in all
May joy meet you at every turn, and may hope be your daily practice. May gratitude companion you, compassion embolden you, and open-hearted courage be your unending choice. May peace challenge you, generosity empower you, and may you know in every day that you are enough exactly as you are, and you are not alone. Blessed be, go in peace, and please be seated for the postlude.